Hello guys and welcome to Dragoon. I'm Legend of Dragoon. In the last episode we fought here in Helix. We managed to transform into a Dragoon for the first time. We actually got Rose here as a party member, who's another Dragoon. And I'm actually going to apologize for the last episode. I had the problem too when I was recording it. During the cutscene where Dart transforms, there's no sound. And I don't know why there's no sound during that part, there just isn't. My mic works and everything, and the sound starting back up immediately afterwards, so it must just be a scratch on the disc or something. But anyway, we can go ahead and leave. Yeah, once you leave town, she won't show you anything anymore, but we already know how to do everything, so let's go. I have the confidence. Dun, 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 dun. So we can go ahead and leave. And actually, I want to move... Shauna's great later, but right now I think Rose is going to be a little bit more useful. Rose is one of the ones I'm worried about. I have the hardest time with Rose's. See, as a kid, I had the hardest time with Rose's addition, so I'm kind of more worried about her additions and actually making sure I can master some of the later ones. I don't know why I always had a problem with her additions, but I did. So now we're in here, the marshlands. Left to the volcano of Vilud, straight forward to the 7th fort in the kingdom of Basil. So the fort is what's under attack, so we want to head over here first. And one more little area. Jump, 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 jump. And then we end up here in the battle. Lots of fighting. And outside of the first one you can still get away from, but every single fight here you can actually get away from. I won't let you have your way. And into the fight itself. So here we go, the fight with the Sandora soldiers again. And Rose's whip smack, if I can actually get it finished. Now one of these soldiers is actually weaker than the other one. I think it's usually the one on the right. It's usually the weaker of the two. In terms of physical defense. You see, I've gone back to Burning Rush over Volcano because right now I want to try and focus on getting SP for Dart so he can level up his Dragoon early on. Especially his level 3 spell is just great for some boss fights. This is gonna hurt. So every fight here, like I said, you can actually get away from every fight at any time. Not when you're in the fight itself. I know you're not allowed to run away. But before the fight starts, you can run away from it and leave if your health is low or anything like that. Because then, otherwise, you have to fight through every single one of these. So you got that one. So you got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the boss for this area, or if you want to call it that. So 6 fights all in a row. But if you leave, you don't come back to the fight where you were just at. If you beat 3 of the opponents, you can't leave and come back to 3 opponents. If you leave and come back, then you have to fight all 6 battles again. So it's something you have to keep in mind. You see Dart's already maxed out his SP. It only takes 100 SP before you can transform. There we go. I gotta get the hang of her speed attacks again. Ah, shit, I messed it up. But yeah, 100 SP, and then you can transform. The levels will always be 100 apart from each other in terms of transformation. But actually, I can't remember off the top of my head how much SP we need before you level up for level. It can take a while for some of them. Oh, shoot, I cannot complete this stuff today. And that's why having more SP-oriented additions can be useful. And then, depending on what you want to do in battles, there are some people who like to just transform for every battle, basically, and run amok. If that's the type of person you are, then there are additions that are better based for you, that give you lots and lots of SP for completing it, especially I think it starts second to last one. Once it's finished, it'll give you like 204 SP. But the one I'm going to be using mainly for Dart when we get to it, should actually, I think it's the next one that he'll pick up. And it will do just as much damage as Volcano, and it'll have a lot of SP to go with it. So it's a very nice hybrid of the two. Hoping to be a level 2 Dragoon before that happens. And even against some bosses, I won't even use the Dragoon Spirit. Usually on the first disc, if I can get away with it, I don't even use the Dragoon Spirit until I'm literally fighting the last boss for the disc. And then, even then, I'm still hesitant about using it, and you guys can see why when we finally get to that boss. But that's still a little ways off. We're making plans for the distant future, gentlemen. Here we go. Slowly getting more. Lavatis will probably go into level 8 before too much time has passed. And Sean is getting XP, I just don't know how much XP Sean is getting. Alright, bring it, Nubatron. Go ahead, bake a cake. Two more fights here. These are all kind of story-based fights, too. Plot-driven. Come on. Rose with her whip. So we need to max out the whip smack. We're should be getting pretty far along on the harpoon, maxing it out. We can go to spinning cane. Raw Typhoon's the one I like to use for Lavatis. But we gotta max out the other ones first if we want to have a hope of getting his final edition. And once we're finished with here, then we can check the additions and see exactly where everybody's at. Two more fights to go here. I will stop them by myself! And I won't let them. Come now, soldier of Sandora.
Fight me into the bitter end.
Stabby stab.
Harpoon!
I don't have a ton. Smack you.
Whip smack!
Haha. And then we'll hit you with a Burning Rush. Burning Rush is relatively easy to tell in battle if you've leveled up, or at least between battles here, just because Burning Rush will actually increase the SP that you get per level. Rose Whip will stay consistent all the way up through 35, which is generally the same for most of the basic editions, about 35 XP, 35 not XP, 35 SP. I think one of the few that I know does change this is Lavatis' SP actually changes from like 35 up to 50 with Harpoon if you max it out. But Lavatis isn't a Dragoon, so we don't have anything to do about that. Then we can fight the Commander. But so I think Lavatis should level up from the Commander fight, and then we can move on. The next area will actually have a couple of bosses in it, so we can get a good amount of XP. Is that all? Bring it, Mr. Commander. After we're done here, we actually need to go back to bail because we can actually get the 10th piece of Stardust here. Alright, let's go ahead and take you on.
Harpoon!
Ow. And Dark, would you be so kind as to beat them? Yeah, there you go. You see, Burning Rush has gone up. It's gone from 45 to 60 SP. Ow. Is it 500? Might be 500. 500 SP needed for the first Dragoon level. That's something I'll have to check that at some point to see if I can figure out how much SP I'll need. Not that there's really any way to keep track of it, but it can give you an idea of how long it takes. Getting to level 5 can take a very, very long time. Even with having additions that will obviously, you know, obviously give you like 100 each. It still takes a while to get to a level 5. Ouch! The commander is a dick. Ah, shoot, I didn't finish it. I only got 40 that time.
Whip smack.
And hit you. So I think what I'm going to try to do is I get more party members. I'll try to kind of move them in and out. But usually I have like a core party member system I stick to. I might try changing that up some this time, but that's something I'll have to wait and see when we get to that point. And smack you.
Whip smack.
Ow. Stop hitting me at Lloyd's.
Harpoon!
I'm doing a ton of damage against him, but then again, none of my additions are really damage dealing right now. Even Harpoon doesn't go above 150% damage. There we go. You're done. No more commander. The commander is no more. So you can see we don't get much. Healing potion, attack ball, 27 gold, 45 XP. And the attack ball we don't need. Attack ball just randomly generates one offensive item. I wonder if the fortress is safe inside. I don't know, but first, we have other things we want to get to. Can't carry anymore. Well, how lucky for me that almost every single one of my characters has lower health. And you get one, and you get one. And actually, Rose, you don't get one. Sun Rasp. That should be the magic one, if I remember correctly. Let's go ahead and take a look here. There it is. Back up. Yeah, completely recover MP. Those are also very useful later on. So into the fortress itself. There's no more fights in the fortress, though, so you don't have to worry about that. Unfortunately, that doesn't make much of a difference. The loss of life is complete. Another Sun Raspity. You cannot carry any more items. Oh, what I can do, actually, is I no longer have any need for the detonation rock. Healing potion, that's more useful than that is. Take a look at this guy here. Hang in there, we beat the Sindoras. Sulavitus. Watch out for the dragon's breath. This is acquired War God's amulet. We will wreak your revenge upon them. So now, he's dead. We actually need, where is it? Here. And there we go. That's the 10th starter. So we'll be going back to get the item for having 10 Stardust pieces in just a minute. Always. This is going to be a constant message. Alright, is there anything I can get rid of that I don't necessarily need? Healing potions are the lowest value item I have. Ooh, spirit potion. I love spirit potions. Spirit potions will restore your SP by 100, and they also count towards your Dragoon level, so it's an automatic 100 SP. If you come out here and get this, you get the lance, which is Levitis's next weapon. And there you are. Nope, stop moving over. Which is, you can see a significant increase in damage from Levitis. Ah, got into a fight. Who are we gonna fight? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? It's all ugly. Okay, we have Mycondio and the Merman. I think these guys pretty good. They also aren't very tough with Lamitis's little spear upgrade. Let's see. You get smashed.
Whip smack.
Lots and lots of damage. The Merman, unfortunately, is not so easy.
Burning rush.
Wish he was, but can't be helped. Anyway, finish him off, Rose.
Whip smack.
So we can do a good amount of damage with this team right now. Shauna is kind of pointless after we get Rose for a little while. She'll become more useful later. But even then, she only becomes really useful after a lot of work with her. So let's go ahead and leave here. So there's nothing left we can really do here. If we want to, we could go straight now to the Valley of Volcano Vilud and start moving towards the Dragon's Nest where we could fight Firebrand. But, like I said, we just got our 10th. Alright. But since we have 10 Stardust, we're actually going to head back to Bale now. Because that's where we can drop off the Stardust pieces and pick up items. I don't remember what the first item is, but we'll find out here quickly. Alright, now we're almost back here and into the castle town. Hyrule Castle Town. Changes every time. Alright, so if you guys remember that the woman that we ran into as we were trying to leave Bale last time, she's actually the person we need to go back to see. Now, and she's over here in this game, this disc area. Legends! You can see we can now come over here. You can see you could actually come back over here before you picked up Rose, so the game doesn't actually render Rose as a companion yet. Well, well, you must be the man who bumped into me at the entrance of the town. Well, perhaps I was a little careless, so we can just forget about it? I was in a hurry because I had to ask him about. Miss Martell, I came here to ask me about Stardust. Why does every old man I do try to ends up sounding like Sean Connery? Stardust? I heard something about it in a fairy tale. It's said that if you collect them all, your wish comes true. It's not a fairy tale. I believe it's true. I need some. Hey, why don't you give me the Stardust if you find some? Of course, I didn't say for free. I'll give you something rare that I found on my journey in return for some of them. What do you think? Not bad, huh? You don't have to. But if you happen to find some, remember me, will ya? So, basically with her, if you find it, you can give it to her. You don't have to, but really there's no reason not to. There's nothing else you can do with the Stardust. It's hard to find Stardust, isn't it? I guess I knew it, though. How about you? Do you want some? I have 10. Thanks a million. In return, take this. It's the rare thing I promised you. The physical ring. Advance for next time. Physical ring, I believe, check here. It should increase your physical attack. Yeah. No, it increases your maximum HP by 50%. So also kind of useful if you have a character that has really low health and you're trying to make sure that they survive something, you can increase their health. Personally, I prefer having a little bit higher defense. I think that works better than having higher health. There is a different item later, though, where you actually can get more magic, which is much more useful. But we've been going on here for a while, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and end off the episode here. In the next episode, we'll be making our way through the rest of the marshland and getting to Volcano Villude and taking on some of the bosses there. Doubt very much that we'll get to the dragon in the next episode, but, you know, who knows. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.